along with running a really busy business, my job is to look after the marketing. For that, I create masses of content every week. And keeping track of that is really tricky, which is why I am so pleased I have discovered Notion. And I'm going to walk you through how I'm using it to grow my marketing and show you how you could use it for yours. I first started using Notion after someone else recommended it to me. At first, I was really overwhelmed. I was using their templates, their way of thinking. The key with Notion is it can completely be customized for the way you think and you operate. So I'm going to show you how I'm using it, but that doesn't mean you've got to use it this way as well. What you need to think about it is it's really just a great place to organize all the filing cabinets and files in your brain. And every one of us has got that slightly different way of doing that. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing to create my content strategy. The first thing you need to know is that Notion has a whole lot of different templates. So if you, all of them will come, if you got it, it's super cheap. It's $48 for the year US to be able to create all the different bits and pieces in here. I have already, I think, made that money almost back. They have a little program, like if you download the desktop, you get some money back and all those sort of things. Super cheap. If you're a bigger business, then it's $10 US per person per month. So you might want to share, because it's very shareable content. It's very easy to share material here. You can share, I could share any of the integrations or ideas with anyone here. And you can save or lock different parts of it so people can't change the actual template, which is super cool. So in the templates, there are lots of different templates. I'm mainly using most of the marketing ones, so there's a few here. I'm also using some of the personal ones as well. So I'm using the journal, and I'm also using the reading list because I'm using that to do my research and my plans. I haven't set my goals. I could quite like to do this, create a goal sheet, but I'm still making sure that I'm keeping this sustainable and manageable, which means not doing everything at once, unlike my normal personality. So let's have a look at it here. I have, my main one is weekly marketing tasks. This took me quite a long time to work out how this was going to look. Everything's customizable, so I have created the structure on here. I have a quick access link to my Canva account so I can easily get there because I'm always having to open it up and create it. I've got my social media content planner spreadsheet. It's got a lot of past historic content on it that I want to use. I've got my hooks for videos, so I've got a whole lot of list of video hooks that I can use when I'm creating content. And then I've got my content ideas and planning. Now, a lot of other creators will use this as their actual planning and to publish state. I'm not really using it for that. I'm using this as a brain dump just because of the way my brain works. I actually still prefer to use pen and paper. So I will go and use this, look at all my other planning, pull it together and plan on paper. I don't know if I'm going to ever change that. That's just the way I work. But I have a whole lot of different ideas in here. You can see there's a type, the type, TikTok or video, carousel posts. And then it's got to all work through of all the different things that I could be using and doing. And then I use this to pull through. It's got some trends and other bits and pieces in here that I'm using, and then some things that are in progress. And then there are a few that I've already used that I'm just putting over here to remind myself I've done them. So I've got that content idea in there. Then I've also got in here, under the weekly marketing tasks, I've got all the tasks, and this is still not full again yet, that I do for our marketing. And these are all set up so that if I look at it from a calendar point of view, they repeat. Because one of the problems in Notion is it's very hard to create a repetitive content calendar. And I need the visual. I need to be able to see what's happening every week. So I've set up it as a recurring task. So you will see that they're not here yet, but they will be here when these come through. So these are ones that I'm going to have to give myself structure to make that sheer volume of content possible. I've created a really clear structure. So I can see it this way. I can filter this on tasks that are not yet done. Or I can also filter on different things. So I can go, it might be, where are we? I can do the platform, and I'm going to go and choose, let's go podcast. There probably isn't actually anything there. Let me just go to Facebook. So there's Facebook, and then it will just show the posts and things that are going to be coming on for Facebook this week. And you can see that there's normally 4 a week approximately. So this is a super cool way to filter through and just check that I'm doing everything. And again, I can also look at that as a weekly Kanban as well. If I want to, I can sort and filter that so I only have the Facebook things and work ahead of them, which is also good. Then what I probably will do is I'll go through and I will have my single image posts, I will do a whole bunch of those ones for Facebook, get them all scheduled in and ready to go, so that I've still got room for off the cuff and spontaneous, but I've got this lovely bedrock of content going through and working. Right, so the other thing that's in here is I also have a list of my hooks, the content ideas, and then I also have my planning or strategy underneath each one of those. I work with 2 brands. I have my personal brand, I am Rachel Klaver, and then I also have my other brand, which is our agency account, which I identify, and I'm in charge of both. So basically it works that here's my niche, here's my 3 subtopics, and here's my content buckets underneath each one. I've walked through what the customer journey stage for those are, and also what the purpose is. And then each one of these content buckets have a little link to a list of 10 of topic ideas that I can use all over the place for all different types of forms. So I could go and do a blog, a post just on, fears of getting trolled, how to manage it. Or I could just be 5 fears that people have. Or I could have, here's 3 blocks I used to have that I don't have anymore. Or whatever those are, it creates an endless supply of content that I've got in there. And so I've got those all through here. And then I've got that for identify as well. So I've got that strategy sitting in there as well. And then I've got a little to-do list structure, so I can create my to-do list. And that will help me with my planning guide. And that's going back through to that daily planning again as well, just to check everything that's going on. This is not my to-do list. This is just my marketing. I'm separating this quite calmly and both out of the way. I do also have a tasks list of things that I need to be doing as well here. So that's important. And then the other thing I've got in here is a journal, because I'm working on my storytelling. So I'm doing a task I've only just started where I just record a simple little story prompt of something that came up during the day or something I thought about that I feel might be a great story in the future, or pull together some stories. And then I use the reading list to be my brain dump. So I have in here a whole lot of different types. So I'll just show you, there's all these different types of media. But I actually, let me just move off this all. These are all my different types. You can see that there's different content and ideas of things that I want to be working on. So when I'm wanting to research a particular area of marketing or a different part of content strategy, I've got these as a task to do. This is a horrendously, when I use it horrendously, in a good way, customizable place. You can actually put anything that you want to need in here. There are templates that you can use, but these are the ones that we're using. These are the ones that we've created templates around for our coaching program on how to build a content web. So we're going to be working through with that with our clients. And it's just such a great way for me to be able to make my marketing manageable using Notion.